Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. We are doing a full face of sample products. Samples that I've gotten in the mail from placing orders online, and this is the end result. So I'm going to rewind and go back to the beginning and start from scratch with the base products and complexion, and we're gonna see how much of these products actually work out and if I can pull this off. So keep watching to find out. This one is going to be a fun video because I am creating a challenge for myself to do a full face with samples. We all get samples from time to time in our orders, whether we choose them ourselves from a variety of options or they're chosen for us as the brand is packaging our orders to ship them to us. And I'm talking about these little packs like this. They give you samples of some eyeshadows, foundations, concealers, or how about these little packets that you sometimes get and maybe you do throw them away. I have been keeping mine and I put them all into like a little bag just because I have them upstairs under my sink in my bathroom. I keep all of these little samples, all of these packs like this for me to try at some point, or if it's something that I already know I use and like, for example, a brow pencil. This is a sample from Anastasia. I can keep that for travel purposes, weekend trips, or just to try a new shade in something that I already like. So the point of today's video is to do a full face or as much of it as I can with these products. I have tons of samples that I have been accumulating, even like tiny little sizes like this that are free gifts that are thrown in. Like this is the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. This was thrown into my order for free. It wasn't like I chose it, and it's just a nice little bonus when you receive your package in the mail. So I have a few things that I kind of wanted to use and make a point. Like I have been really curious about the Tom Ford foundation. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Foundation, and I think there's gonna be maybe one or two shades that I can make work in this for myself. I also have the primer from Tom Ford that I've been curious about for, I would say, the last few years. It's been something I've been considering trying, but it is pretty pricey. So I am really excited about this here. So we're just gonna kind of start doing the full face, and I will plug in anything full size from my collection that I don't have in these sample packs. For example, eyeshadow primer, I don't have a sample for that, or setting powder, which I do often use. I don't have samples for those, so I'm just gonna kind of plug in what I have from my collection. So I'm excited. I am ready to have some fun. I hope you will enjoy this, and let's get started. So for primer, I think I'm gonna try this one from Tom Ford because I have this and I have the Putty Primer from e.l.f. This is the regular one, and I also have the vitamin C one, also in a tiny little jar like this that they included with a free gift. If you spend a certain amount, they just kind of threw that into the order, which is really nice, and I appreciate when brands do that. But I've been really wanting to try Tom Ford. It is a very pricey luxury brand, and I am one that loves luxury makeup. I have lots of it, and I don't mind spending the money, but I'm just kind of curious if the Traceless Soft Matte Primer is actually worth the money or the cost of their foundation. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. So I have Porcelain, Fawn, Sepia, and Mocha. So if you're kind of curious, I will show you what they look like. Porcelain, Fawn, Sepia, and Mocha. In case you are curious about the colors, there's a look at some of the shades. Let's just go ahead and do it. I'm excited. I'm gonna go in with the primer. And all I have is my skincare, some hyaluronic acid serum, my moisturizer, what else? Oh, Summer Friday lip balm, that's it. So we are going to tear this open. I don't wanna waste not one bit of this. Does anybody else save these, or am I like the only one that's saving these? Oh, it does smell kind of nice. It smells kind of skincare-y. I don't even know what the ingredients are. But I'm only gonna use the tiniest little bit because I normally, oh, that smells nice. It smells like skincare. I normally don't use a ton of primer, just a little bit, just to get things going and set the tone for my foundation. But I want to see how his primer works with the actual foundation that goes with it. And that does look nice. So I'm getting just a little bit of like a pilling happening, and I think it's because I have the hyaluronic acid serum from my skincare this morning that is just pilling underneath. So that's definitely not a good thing. So hopefully I can kind of bypass any more of that stuff happening. So for the foundation, I chose the shade 0.5 Porcelain. I was going between that one and Fawn, but I think I'm going to do this one. And I'm just going to use this other sample that I'm going to use later on from Benefit. It's got a point, so I'm going to use that to sort of pick up this foundation. And I'm going to use, let's start with the brush. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe All Over Face Brush. And let me see how this is looking. Oh yeah. That looks like it matches. So that's one cheek done. And then no foundation and foundation. That's really nice. Yikes. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be as good because I want to say this foundation is kind of close to 90 bucks. I want to say. Don't quote me on pricing, but it is very expensive. I think it's more than the Armani Luminous Silk, which is my favorite. This looks really nice, and it's blending out really, really pretty. And I'm not getting any more of that sort of pilling action happening, which is good. Through my forehead. And I feel like this little blister pack honestly is enough for me to do more than one use, which I also really like because I get to really try a second time to make sure that it is something that I want to commit to price point wise, because luxury makeup can be kind of pricey. So these samples are always fun to use. So I'm getting a little bit of, I guess, a bit of slight separation right in through here. So I don't know if that's the foundation, the skincare underneath, but I do like the way this is looking. It's just really this one side of my nose here that's really giving me some issues, but everywhere else looks really nice, really pretty, fresh, light. I mean, I could layer some more, but I really don't want to do too much. Maybe I'll add a little bit more in through here. Just a couple more dots. Make sure I get it all. Yeah. So this little 4-pack here says 1N brighten, 1N correct, 2N brighten, 2N correct. I think this is Laura Mercier. I am not quite sure. I also have the concealer 2N in the Dior Flash Perfector Concealer. So maybe I should just try that and see how that works. And I'm going to dot this. So that concealer right off the bat, just by putting a little bit on, is a little dark. So 2N and Dior is not the right shade for me. I like something a little lighter, something that is more brightening. This sort of kind of honestly just really blended right into the foundation. And it is a really nice formula. It doesn't look like it's accentuating any imperfections. I feel like I got more on one side than the other. And it looks like it's blending out very, very well. So far, that does look really nice. And I have not tried any of the Dior complexion products, so that's a good first time try with their products. So setting powder, I don't have a setting powder, so I'm going to choose one from my collection. And I'm also going to apply my MAC Paint Pot, which is what I use for primer for eyeshadow. And then we're going to continue on with brows, bronzer, blush, all of the extra things that pull everything together to make the full face. Okay, so I've set my concealer and I've also done my paint pot for eyeshadow primer. So the setting powder is my Huda Beauty powder because I love that, and so I'm going to kind of keep that very consistent just to see how this under eye concealer works and wears throughout the day. So now I have to do my brows, which is the part that I am least looking forward to because it takes me so long to do in my routine. I have two options: the Benefit Precisely My Brow in shade number 4 and the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills in medium brown. And I have this in the dark brown shade, so I know that this is a good formula. The Precisely My Brow is the one I'm going to use because I do have this in full size in my collection, which it looks like this. This is a full size packaging, and then this is a sample free gift. This is shade 3 that I got, and I feel like it's a little light and kind of warm, so I want to try 4 because I honestly had this in my cart at Sephora, and I took it out because I wasn't sure if it was going to be too dark. So I'm glad that I looked through my stuff under my sink so I can try a new shade. And I'm hoping to get this cap off. What is going on here? Oh, please. So I thought this was a cap that you pull off, but you actually twist it. So I got Tom Ford foundation all the way inside of the, good job, Lexi. Anyways, wow. Okay, so let's see if there even is enough to do both brows. I really, really hope so, because can you imagine if I only had enough to do one brow or maybe even just half a brow? Stop. I do think that shade 4 honestly is a really good match just because my natural hair color is really close to this tone, and it's going on really nicely. Minus the little streaks of foundation that is kind of coming off. Oh my gosh. Wow. The tone is right. The formula is really great on these Benefit Makes Good brow products, and so does Anastasia. Anastasia is like an OG classic. You can't go wrong with them, so I was not expecting this to be a shocker because it is really great, and I do like 4 better than 3, so I may have to order that. So for my bronzing step, what I'm going to do is use some of the darker tone foundations and maybe some of this Nars. This is the mini of the Laguna bronzer, which I've used before. I've owned it in full size. I have the cream version of it. You've probably seen this and heard of it enough. I may use this to kind of set some of these foundation finishes because I'm not sure how this is going to actually look. This is the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Foundation, the Matte Velvet Skin. And these are the colors in this packet. So up here is Y225, Y335, Y445, and then R560. So it gives you an idea if you're kind of curious of some of the colors, what they look like. I'm gonna go back into my little tool and actually add more product into this little hole. I'm gonna take the foundation and I'm going to sort of dot this just ever so slightly, because I'm not even sure what this is going to do and how this blends. And that is very, very warm. So it's going to do exactly what we need it to do. It's giving the warmth, it's giving bronze. Maybe Oompa Loompa? I don't know. Is this too warm? It probably is too warm. Yikes. It's okay. We're here and we're going to make it work. I'm going to do it. It's going to be a-okay. When I do my bronzer, I like to take it over my nose, kind of like a W motion right across the bridge of my nose, and just kind of blend it in to really give me that sun-kissed look, because that's, I think, the point of bronzing is to make yourself look like you have a little bit more sun and that sun-kissed kind of look. And this foundation is very pigmented, by the way. And it is blending out quite nicely right over the Tom Ford foundation. So that's really nice. And I feel like I have too much on this side. Oh man. Okay, so let me add a little bit more here. I like to always kind of work with my damp sponge to really blend everything in and not just relying on my brush, which, by the way, if you haven't tried this brush from A Cosmetics, the Heavenly Luxe, it's a double-ended one. It is fantastic, and it can do virtually every single step of your makeup routine. It is amazing. The quality is great. It's soft. It's blendable. It doesn't feel scratchy. It's a really nice brush. Love it. I feel like that definitely gave me the warmth that I was looking for anyways. So we're just going to leave it and move on because it looks nice. The complexion looks really fresh, and there is a little bit of a glow and luminosity, but again, that I think that's really just my skincare and the hyaluronic acid serum just really making my skin look juicy and plump. So I like it. I like the way this looks. Now we can do a little bit of powder with this Nars Laguna, this little mini, and I'm going to use a BK Beauty 111 brush for this step. And I'm really only going to do a tiny bit because I don't need any more bronzer. I am bronzed. But I feel like a little bit of powder might be okay, just lightly, to kind of set and kind of bring down a little bit of this glow that we have here. So for blush, I don't really have any little packets that look like this for blush. I used to have some from the Rosy Ink brand, and I don't know what happened to those. I think I may have used some of those, the Lip and Cheek cream blushes, which I really like from Rose Ink, but I don't have the samples anymore. So I have this little one from Mercier. This is the Blush Color Infusion in Ginger. It is kind of warm, warmer than I would have chosen for today's look, just because I do feel like I have a lot of warmth already happening on my skin. But this is the only blush that I have, so we're going to use it. I'm going to take a little bit of this. I am familiar with this formula. I have the strawberry, which is just incredible. Such a pretty, okay. Actually, you know what? That gave me like a peachy, yes, okay. Anyways, the strawberry, like I was saying, was or is a really pretty pink that gives you that flush, that natural mimicking your skin's flush when you are blushing or when you're in from the cold kind of feel, and it's beautiful. And the formula, it's really, really special. And this color, yes, 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 yes. I'm going over my nose for that extra like sunburnt kind of look. I like that, and I've been doing that a lot lately. A little extra blush, never hurt anybody, right? So for eyeshadow, I only have one product for eyes, and that is the Laura Mercier cream eyeshadows. These are awesome. I have a few of them. These are pretty much basic staple colors, and I'm glad that they were provided in samples. So the first one here is matte, and that's all natural. Then you have their infamous, my camera focuses, the infamous amethyst. Then you have metallic taupe. It's so pretty. I'm going to use this on my lids. Oh yeah, that's really nice. And even though this is called metallic taupe, it's coming off very light in tone and more champagne, just a little softer. It's not quite as dark, maybe because I'm using just my finger instead of using it from the actual full-size product, which I love. Cream shadow sticks. I have tons of them in my collection. So I'm going to use my middle finger to blend out those edges, but they wear so incredibly well. And this is the perfect everyday color. It couldn't get easier, and it's just so, so pretty. The tone and that metallic finish has the slightest bit of sparkle, but it's not chunky. It's not thick, big pieces of glitter. It really is a beautiful formula, and I think I need to get this color. I really do. I feel like I need to order some more Laura Mercier sticks. I think I'm going to take the Natural color, which is just a soft, light, kind of neutral color that I could use to define my lower lashes, just because I don't have anything else that's darker. I would have preferred to have like maybe a dark brown or black for liner and lower lashes, but I don't have that. So I'm going to use this Natural color, and I'm going to use a small detail brush. This is the BK Beauty 210, and I'm going to pick up some of that shade and use that for my lower lash line. And this is one of the matte finishes. So it's really soft. You're not really going to see a ton of definition with that because it is really light, but it's going to add a little something. And I think I'm going to take that same brush with the metallic taupe sample and add some of that to my lower lash line for a little bit more of a cohesive look. And just right over that metallic taupe. And actually, let's try to use a little bit of that Au Natural color as well for a little bit of definition right in this outer V. And I'm using the same BK Beauty 210 brush for this. It's the perfect little size to fit into these little samples. It goes right into there and picks up the perfect amount of color. So you may not see too much distinction between the metallic taupe and this Natural color because they're both very light. But there is, in person, I can see just a subtle hint, like a wash of something just a tad deeper on this outer part from that Au Natural. If I had like a darker color, then I would be able to create a bit of a smoky effect. And I'm not sure about using anything else in here, like any sort of complexion product for that step, because that may not turn out very well. So it's very soft and very light. So I think I'm gonna just stop right here with the eyeshadow because I really don't have anything else to add from my sample stash. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of eyeliner. And for this, I'm probably gonna do a liquid liner to add a little bit more drama to the eyes instead of just leaving it like this and mascara. I think I'm gonna do some liquid liner, and I'm gonna use one from Maybelline and just do a line and then be back for the final touches. One from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Lashes. It's the small tube of this. This is actually one of those free items samples that I chose with my latest order of one of her new releases that just recently came out with, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. I've used this formula before and I really like it, but this sort of sample kind of keeps in line with all the free samples that are kind of thrown into an order. And I do have this mascara in full size waiting to be opened once I get rid of my Tarte mascara that I'm currently using. That's my next one. This is a very good mascara that adds lots of length, thickness, volume. It gives me everything that I need a mascara to give. Okay, so here's the look of the eyes with 2 good coats of the mascara. I did it also on the lower lash line, and I can't say enough good things about this mascara. I love it. It's one of my personal favorites, so this is not something new to experience formula-wise. And now we have to do lips. So I have some lipstick samples. These are the Rouge Artist Intense Color lipsticks from Makeup Forever. These tones I feel like are kind of, I don't know, they're just not really my type of shades. So I will show you what they look like. This is Rose Flare, Virtuous Goji, and Visionary Ruby. These are not really colors that I would wear, so I'm probably not going to use these today just because, like I said, it's not really in my comfort zone. So the only other option is this lip balm from Nars. These are the Afterglow lip balm in the O shade, which we already know what the O stands for. It's that really pretty pink, peach, goldeny finish. I don't think I've ever tried the Afterglow lip balms. Have I? It looks like it might have a nice gloss finish. This might be my next favorite thing. And I still have some of the Summer Fridays lip balm, which is in vanilla. That's clear, so it doesn't really affect the tone of this. Okay, so that is the shade there from the Nars Afterglow lip balm. It's actually really pretty. It gave me a subtle kind of hint of a pinky color to my lips. I don't really see too much of the sheen as far as that golden shimmer that I saw in the actual sample pack. You can see a little bit of that goldeny sheen and shimmer, but it doesn't really translate. I feel like it's nice glossy finish, and it's actually a pretty pink shade. It's like a wash of color for the lips. And here we are. This is the full face. What do you guys think? I think it actually looks really nice. The eyes, I love the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. I've used them before. These colors are sort of new to me. I really like that metallic taupe. I think it's the perfect everyday kind of wash of a pretty sparkly champagne without being super glittery and difficult to work with. The thick liner, which is one of my favorites from Maybelline, that's not new, gives the look just that classic, fresh, clean look. And the mascara, everything about the eyes looks great. I like the lip from Nars, and the complexion looks really soft, fresh, and dewy. I am looking very bronze, and I like that. It kind of makes me feel like I got a little bit of sun, even though I didn't. And I do like the way everything went on. So I feel like these samples really were easy to work with, and I may actually try some of these again tomorrow. And who knows, I might actually purchase these products in full size. I do think that everything looks really nice. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, what you thought about this video, if you enjoyed this sort of challenge and this concept. I thought it was kind of fun. I've been collecting, like I said before in the beginning of the video, these little sample packets and not really knowing what I'm going to do with it, if I'm ever going to use them. And so I thought, you know what, let's turn the camera on and let's challenge ourselves today to see if we can pull off the full face. And I think we did a pretty good job. So that is it. I will have everything listed below that I used today and the shades that I'm wearing in case you are curious about the tones, or maybe we're kind of close in skin tone that it might be helpful for you to see down below in the description box what the color names are. And subscribe for more videos like this in the future. We can be friends. I also have Instagram. It's always on the screen. We can chat there. I hope to see you soon. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.